Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to lesson 3.11. Today, we are going to take what we have been learning about decimals and connect it to meters and centimeters. Look at this unhappy guy. He is holding an example of a meter stick. Now, you might have one in your house, but you might also have a yardstick. And they're close, but they are not the same. Okay. A meter stick is 1 meter long. Right? That stick that you're seeing right there is 1 meter long. If you hold your arms straight out to the sides, everybody do that. Take your arms, stretch them way out to the side. That's probably around a meter, right? Now, if you're really tall, you probably have to push your hands in a little bit, right? Because you could probably stretch farther than a meter. Tall folks like Mr. White, so you kind of move your hands in a little bit. But that's the general idea, right? This is 1 meter. Now, this 1 meter has 100 little centimeters, right? So each number marks a centimeter. So from here to here is 1 centimeter, two, three, four, and so on. There's 100 on the whole stick. How many centimeters are on my meter stick? 100. 100 centimeters are in a meter. Now, what's the trick? It's easy to remember. Cent. You know how many cents are in a dollar, right? Cent. A penny is 1 cent. There's 100 pennies in a dollar. A centimeter, there's 100 centimeters in a meter, right? It's just the same thing as money, which is going to lead us into decimals in just a little bit. On your body, if you look at your pinky finger, not how long it is, but how wide it is across your fingernail, that's usually about 1 centimeter. Okay. There's 100 centimeters in a meter. Each of our cubes that we might have, like those base 10 blocks, they are 1 centimeter long. So if we know that, here's our job today. We're going to be converting centimeters to meters and kind of back and forth, right? Meters to centimeters. And this is in our measurement standard. We have looked at some of these already, like hours and minutes, and we are right here with M and cm, meters and centimeters. So if we know that one of our cubes is 1 centimeter, how long is this stack here? 10 centimeters, right? That's 10 centimeters long. How many of these longs? I have one right here, see? How many of these, if each of these is 10, how many will fit on the meter stick? 10 of them, right? Because each is 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So what fraction of a meter is this stick? Well, 1 out of 10, right? It's just like fraction circles, only now we're stretching it out, right? One of if we can fit 10 of these on this whole meter stick, one of them is worth 1/10. And how we could write that as a decimal? 1/10. A 1 in the tenths place, right? So here's a lot of ways to write it. One long piece. It's worth 10 centimeters. It's 1/10 of a meter, which we can write like that or like that. There's a decimal point in there. It's kind of hard to read in that font, right? Or 1/10 of a meter because 10 of them make up the whole meter stick. How many of these cubes do you think? I couldn't make a cube small enough to fit on this meter stick. So you know the cubes, though. How many of them will fit on the meter stick? I mentioned it earlier. 100, right? So when we talk about fractions, one of them is 1 out of 100 or 100th. How do you write that as a decimal? 0.01, right? If you wrote this, well, don't write a 6. If you wrote this 1/10, that is not correct. That was the long. We're talking about the cube. The cubes are like pennies. The cubes are like pennies. See? Looks like a penny. All right. Let's keep moving on. There it is. 1 cube equals 1 centimeter. That is 1/100th of a meter, which you could also write like that or write with words like that. All right, let's imagine that we had a meter stick here. If we wanted to um, show 24 centimeters, we would do two longs, right? So 10, 20, and then four more. So what we would be at 24 centimeters is 24 out of 100. Okay. And we would write that as a fraction, and then we could write that as a decimal. 24 hundredths of a meter. Okay. There's only one decimal point there. I don't know why there's two. Right. The 24 centimeters is 24 100ths of a meter. The same way that 24 pennies is 24 hundredths of a dollar. Okay, the pennies, the cubes are the pennies. Meter stick is the dollar. What if we had 70? Well, we would need seven longs, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So we're at 70 hundredths. We could write that as, or 7 tenths, right? I'm going to do 7 tenths. Or 70 hundredths, right? They're worth the same amount. We could write it as 7 tenths. Or we could put a zero there because it doesn't change the number. All right. Now we're going to switch over to my screen here for us to see because this is going to be what you're working on later. So I'm going to do one here and then you'll get a chance to do one as well. Actually, that's the first one you're going to do. So this is the one that I'm going to do. So meters and centimeters, just like dollars. Oh, I can't write on it. Just like dollars and pennies. So if I have 1 meter, we said it a million times so far, that is 100 centimeters. These are like the dollars, these are like the pennies. So 3 meters would be what? 300. Now be careful here. 15 meters would be, sometimes people will do this because they're thinking it has to be in the hundreds place. But no, 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 that's impossible, right? If 3 meters is 300, 15 meters can't be 150. We need two zeros. 1,500. What would this one be? 84 meters. 8,400, right? It's the biggest one. Okay, now we can also, as we saw on our meter stick there, sometimes we have part of a meter. So here we have 1 meter and 73 hundredths, 1 and 73 hundredths. So this is 100 because 1 meter is 100. 73. Hey, that looks easy, doesn't it? Right? Just think, right? This is like money. This is like pennies, dollars, pennies, meters, centimeters. It's the same. So 6 and 7 tenths. 600. Now, where's the seven gonna go? Well, it's in the tenths spot. So if I had those long pieces, those long base 10 blocks, I would need seven of them. They're worth 70 little cubes. 670. All right, look at this. Meters, 0.02. 2 hundredths. How many centimeters would that be? Only two, right? Think about a dollar sign there. That's two pennies. 2 centimeters. What about this? Don't say one. Don't say one. 10, right? 10, because this is in the tenths place. And lastly, we need to be able to switch back as well. Okay, this is kind of a little extra thing kind of to challenge our brain. So if we had 500 centimeters, well, I remember up here we said that 100 would be one. So 500 has to be five, 5 meters. All right. What about 20 centimeters? Well, 1 meter is 100. So this has to be less than one. Any of these numbers that are less than 100, are going to start with a 0 because 1 meter has 100 centimeters. So 2 in the tenths place and 3 in the hundredths place, like that. All right, let's see. 480. How many whole meters am I going to have here? 4, and then 80 hundredths. All right, last one's for you. What should I write here? 0 point, not 0.9. That would be 90 centimeters, right? This is like 9 pennies. To write 9 pennies, I would write this, 9 hundredths. All right. So yours looks like this. Same thing, different numbers. If you need any help with anything, you can reach out to me. We were able to learn about converting meters and centimeters today. That was our goal. All right. Good luck.